Hi, so today I'm going to do a full review of the stock trading platform by Interactive Brokers called the Client Portal. If you're interested in the Saxo Bank version called Saxo Trader Go, well, I've done a review and tutorial on this platform before, and this is the Interactive Brokers version. Now, I've always thought it is a really good idea to have at least 2 trading accounts, because just in case something was to ever happen to one of those accounts, well, at least I've mitigated some of that risk. So let's go see how the Interactive Brokers platform stacks up. And make sure you stay right to the end of this video, because at the end, I'm going to compare the fees and some of the features of some of the most popular trading platforms out there. It is so important to have a trading platform that you can trust. For a lot of people, this is going to be their retirement fund. For others, it's going to be their entire life savings. So you need to be able to trust the platform. And when talking about platforms, I always go back to what happened to my close friends and my family about 2 years ago in Australia. See, my friends, family, and myself included, about 5 years ago, were recommended a trading platform inside of Australia. Now, fortunately, I'd left the country, so I moved to Saxo Bank, but unfortunately for my close friends and family, well, they were still using what was called Halifax Investment Services, and it went bankrupt, and it froze all of my friends and family's accounts. This was about 2 years ago now, so my friends and family are still trying to get their money out of the platform. It's still all frozen at the moment. And the reason it's taking so long is because it's all tied up in the courts and it's just dragging out and taking a long time to sort it all out. But what if this happened to you? What if you needed the money for, I don't know, some medical procedure, or you made some bad investments and you've learned that those weren't a good idea, but now you really want to sell them, but you can't? Luckily enough for my friends and family, there hasn't really been any need to get that money out at the moment, but still, it sucks that all this money is tied up and they can't really get access to what is essentially theirs. And the investments are solid, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the companies that they invested in. It's all to do with the quality of the brokerage company. So just like a company that you buy shares into, there is the chance that it goes bankrupt, and same with your brokerage account. So the moral of the story is that reputation and stability of your brokerage account is vitally important. Whew, just ask my own mum and dad. So I get a little bit concerned with the rise of all of these new stock trading apps out there. You know the ones I'm talking about, the Robinhoods, the Webulls, the Trading 212s, the list goes on. Recently, you've probably heard a lot about these companies because they've been pushing really hard to get market share. But what is their track record? How are they financed? Are your stock and cash deposits secured by the government? I bet a lot of people don't know the answers to these questions, but they will happily drop their hard-earned money into their new Webull account. Look, I watch the other finance YouTubers out there, and I know they get really high commissions for recommending Webull and Trading 212. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with being an affiliate for a company, but you just have to truly understand what that company is. What do you think will happen to the reputation of, say, Graham Stephan if Webull was to go bust one day? A lot of YouTubers have been telling everybody to sign up to their new Webull account and get 2 free stocks when they deposit $100. Now, I'm sure Graham Stephan has looked into Webull in detail, because Webull, well, it is insured and it is following all the regulatory guidelines, so there's probably nothing to worry about here. But I just think you have to be careful and you have to do your own research into the trading platform that you use so you understand the risk. And I'm also just trying to make the point that a lot of these companies are brand new and they don't have much of a track record yet. Now, I recommend Saxo Bank, but only up to 100,000 euros worth, because that is guaranteed by the Danish government. So you also might need multiple trading accounts, and that's what I'm doing here today. I'm on the hunt for another reputable company. So let's talk about Interactive Brokers' reputation. Well, here are the things that I think are important reasons why I chose Interactive Brokers as my second account. 250,000 US dollars is guaranteed by Lloyd's of London. Interactive Brokers has $8.1 billion in reserves, which is $6 billion above the recommended amount by the regulators. They are a publicly listed company, therefore they need to abide by similar regulations as a bank. I can therefore look at the debt to equity ratios and the current ratios. And debt to equity is 0.8 and the current ratio is 1.1, which are both in line with historical averages. Now let's talk about the most important thing, well, the fees. Now, for buying and selling most stocks, well, the fees are actually pretty good. So here are the rules for fees. So $1 is the minimum for buying under 200 shares. And if you are over 200 shares, the cost is $0.005 per share above this. And the fees will go no more than 0.5% of the trade value. So this is really good, but the catch is trading penny stocks. See, if the stock price is $0.05 a share, or 5 cents, well, you might need to buy 20,000 shares just to make it worth some effort. So that's $1,000 worth of stock. So 20,000 times $0.005 is $100 in fees. That's really high. But the rules say it can't be more than 0.5% of trade value. So this transaction would cost you about $5. Still not that bad, and honestly, who buys penny stocks anyway? I shouldn't really say that. I might invest in one day, who knows? So a normal $7,000 trade of something like Bank of America, which is about $24 at the moment, will mean you will buy 291 shares. And this will cost you $1.45 in fees. So generally for most people, especially long-term value investors who are looking for good companies, well, we're going to be completely fine with the fees, and they're actually very reasonable. All right, now day traders, this is not for you. So I don't really know what the best platform is for day traders, but I know the Advanced Interactive Brokers platform, well, it still has like some sort of time delay of like 10 to 30 seconds sometimes, which if you're a day trader, that could mean a lot and that could really hurt you. Honestly, this isn't my field and I have no interest in day trading, but I just know that this platform isn't for you. Now, this is the best part. Nearly every country in the world, you can get an account. This is great for my Ukrainian friends who struggle to find a reputable and reliable trading platform. But apologies to my Somalian, North Korean, and Zimbabwe friends out there. Unfortunately, it's not available to you. So how long does it take to get an account? Well, it's a long process, and I'm not really sure why it took me so long. I think they were under pressure getting a lot of new people signed up because it took me 2 months to get my account organized. And in terms of documentation, well, I needed to prove my source of funds, I needed to show a tax ID, and I needed to give them a copy of my passport. But conveniently, it was all done online, so I didn't have to mail anything with the post. So have you gotten something out of this video? If you have, well, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I think some of my videos will be interesting for you. Now, of course, there are hundreds of different platforms that I could have reviewed today, but I've picked what I think are some of the most popular ones. Now, I have an international audience, so some of the big ones out there are only for US citizens. So I'm trying to show you brokerage accounts that most of the world can use. And just for my American viewers, well, I have thrown in some of the most recommended apps in there as well into this review, so we'll get to have a look at them too. So now, if I was a US citizen, I would start with TD Ameritrade at this stage. I would like to investigate them a little more, but that's definitely where I would start. I wouldn't use the new style trading apps, well, for large amounts of money anyway. Maybe a little would be okay, but nothing serious. Now for the rest of the world, I think TD Ameritrade isn't a good idea. It doesn't support many countries and the fees are higher than both Interactive Brokers and Saxo. I just think they are more focused on the US market. So a quick note about inactivity fees. It's something that you need to factor into your decision. So the inactivity fees for Saxo Trader Go and Interactive Brokers Client Portal are here on the screen. Now, Saxo Trader Go platform's inactivity fee is $100. Now that's if no trades are executed in a 6-month period. So this is actually pretty easy to not let happen. See, I mean, for every 2 or 3 months, I put more money into the S&P 500 index funds regardless of the price. And dividends are reinvesting quite often in my account as well. So I have never been hit with this fee before, but it's just something you need to be aware of. Now for the Interactive Brokers Client Portal, the inactivity fees are $10 per month. Now, unless you make enough trades to spend more than $10, or if you have more than $100,000 in the account, well, you won't be hit with this $10 fee. But generally, you're probably going to be hit with this $10 fee. So if you are a US resident, then you can get the fees waived if you get the Interactive Brokers Lite trading account. Now, that's what I would do if I was a US resident. So for Interactive Brokers, this is far easier to forget about and get hit with a $10 monthly fee. So my advice would be to get your balance above that $100,000 because it is unlikely you'll spend $10 in brokerage fees every month in trades. So Saxo, well, it has a better inactivity fee structure, but the trading fees are higher. So more or less, you will probably spend about the same in fees for both platforms if you're a long-term investor like me. But there is a problem. What about when your portfolio gets larger than the insured amount? Well, I guess I better start looking for a third brokerage account. And if I was starting and had between $10,000 and $100,000, well, I actually think Saxo is the better option because of the inactivity fees of Interactive Brokers is high.
But after $100,000, well, Interactive Brokers is far better.
Now, if you have any suggestions, please reach out, as I would love to review another platform that most people in the world can use. Hit subscribe before you leave to follow my channel along, and I will see you in the next video.